A very good morning to one and all. Welcome to StudyIQ IAS English. My name is Abhishek Singh. And dear students, today I am in front of you with the story of another battle which reshaped the history of India forever. And today we are going to talk about this battle, which is the Battle of Panipat. The first Battle of Panipat, which took place in the year 1526. What was the reason behind this battle? What incidents did take place in this battle? What were the consequences of this battle? And last but not the least, that did the victor of this battle, the winner of this battle, Babur, Zahiruddin Muhammad Babur, Padshah Ghazi, the complete name, did he really want to stay in India or did he want to return back? We will find out in this session. So let's join this session with me and let us start this session without any further delay. So first of all, if we talk about the Battle of Panipat, so let me tell you that this Battle of Panipat, actually, Panipat is a place in Haryana, right? You might have heard the name that it is famous as the city of the weavers, who are experts in the textile weaving. But this city is also called as the place where the once, twice, thrice, the history of India that was to be rewritten. And why so? Because first of all, in this place, the battle was fought between invading forces of Babur and the reigning Lodhi Empire. And this battle took place on the 21st of April 1526. And this marked the beginning of the Great Mughal Empire. And why am I saying it as the Great Mughal Empire? Because the Mughal Empire that started from here, it was just for a while, that for a few years it was intervened by the Afghans. However, once again, it resurged itself and established itself as one of the most glorious empire to have ruled ever in India. So what is the tale of this empire? Was the reason, right? What was the reason behind the success of the Mughals in this battle? We will see. So first of all, if we talk about some details of this battle. So dear, in 1526, the Mughal forces of Babur, who was Babur? Babur was a Chagatai Turk ruler. Which ruler? A Chagatai Turk ruler. Okay. A descendant of Taimur and a descendant of the Chengiz Khan. Okay, Chengiz Khan. In fact, if we talk about the two descendants or two ancestors of Babur, Taimur was his ancestor from the paternal side, whereas Chengiz Khan was his ancestor from his maternal side. Okay, so Babur was born to Mirza Umar Sheikh of Fargana. Where is Fargana? In modern days Uzbekistan. In fact, if we talk about Babur, so when he had nothing in his hands, nothing left in his hands, only then he had decided to proceed to India. As we all know that India has been very kind enough to all its seekers of shelter. And in fact, if we talk about Babur also, he also was one of those people who actually saw the refuge or saw the conquering over India. In fact, if we talk about this battle, it is estimated that the Babur's forces, they numbered around 15,000 men and around 20 to 24 pieces of the field artillery, right? Whereas the estimation of Babur had said that Lodhi might be having around 1 lakh people, soldiers, right? And around 30-40,000, that was the actual number of the soldiers. All right. Now, being specific about this battle, let us understand that which strategy or which reason was the most helpful reason or most helpful thing for Babur to have won this war. So what exactly helped Babur? Was it the use of artillery? Was it the use of the musketeers, the musket gun wielders? Or was it the use of the new war tactics called Tulugma and Araba? Okay. Because let me tell you that this battle involved one of the earliest uses of the field artillery guns and the explosive gunpowder as far as the North India was concerned, because we have the references of the use of the gunpowder and artillery guns, etc., even earlier in the battles of Bahmani versus Vijayanagar in the Deccan region. Okay. So as we all are aware that in the world, let me tell you that in the medieval world, there were a few empires which were also called as the gunpowder empire. What were they called as? They were called as the gunpowder empire. And you should not be surprised that the Mughal empire, that was one of them. The Mughal empire, that was one of them. The other empires which were called as the gunpowder empire, they included Persian Empire, Ottoman Empire, Uzbek Empire, etc. Okay. So this gunpowder empire definitely had the advantage of, right, the knowledge of using the guns, particularly the explosives and the gunpowders. So not just that was a factor, but also the use of the new war tactics called Tulugma and Araba. That was another reason. What is Tulugma and what is Araba? Now, Tulugma is basically the rearrangement of the positioning of the army where the commander-in-chief is located in the center, and he is guarded by, right, or his army is basically charged by this arrangement of the bullock carts, heavy and wielded bullock carts called as Araba. Okay, this arrangement is called as Araba. And here, Araba is basically when the carts are joined with the help of the ropes, okay, with the help of the ropes, making a type of wall or a temporary fortress. Okay, and where the gap is there in between the two carts, there is the strategic positioning of the guns, strategic positioning of the field guns, artillery guns, okay, so that these nozzles can fire on the opponent's army while they could be defended by the relative movement of the Araba. And at the same time, there is the presence of the army in the distinct divisions. You can see there are three major divisions: first division, second division, and the third division. However, each of the divisions, they have got a forward unit and a backward unit or the backup unit. So this forward unit and this backup unit, right? So what was the strategy that the guns used to fire on the front line of the opponent's army, usually shielded by the elephants? So when the elephants used to face that firearm, basically they were out of control and usually rumbled down upon their own army, thus causing the huge devastation. So this was the entire method of Tulugma and Araba, right? So as I have described this method to all of you, now can you exactly think that was this the only reason? Was this the only reason of the success of the Mughals in particular battle? Not exactly, let me tell you. And guys, if you are watching it, do not forget to share this session, because now this is the session where I'm going to tell you a lot of new things which are not heard before related to this battle. Also, we will be talking about the consequences and a perspective questions related to the prelims or the mains examination. Okay, so make it sure that you share it to the maximum number of people so that all of them can watch it. Now, so if we talk about the reasons behind the success, so let me tell you that this was not the only reason. Okay, this was not the only reason. There were other reasons as well which actually led to the defeat of the Lodhi's army, which actually led to the change of the Sultanate, change of the reign in India's political history, right? So if we talk about the background of the war, that what was going on in India, what was going on in the political spectrum of India. So the first thing that the Lodhis, the Lodhis, they were not in the mood of, a peaceful condition or a stable kingdom. Why? The infighting that was going on between them. The troubles in the Lodhi Sultanate's own backyard. So what happened that in 1517, Ibrahim Lodhi became the Sultan of Lodhi Sultanate. And he was a person with a strong head. That means he was a person with a short temper, and he did not consider his nobles, the Afghans, as equal to him. In fact, let me tell you that there was a spirit of the brotherhood among Afghans, something very, very similar to the Rajputs. Okay, even Rajputs also did not regard anybody above them. Similarly, the Afghans also, they also had this spirit of peer, right, spirit of the peerage or spirit of the brotherhood, in which if they got the respect, they gave it. Otherwise, they did not even regard who was the king, right? So similarly, Ibrahim Lodhi was also the hot-headed person who did not respect his fellow Afghans, and therefore causing the rift and the troubles in the court. Okay, what happened? There were several Afghan nobles, like, there were the Lodhis, for example, Alam Khan Lodhi or Daulat Khan Lodhi, even son of Daulat Khan Lodhi, Dilawar Lodhi, right? So these people were there. Then Lohani Sardars were there, Farmaulis and Niazi Afghans. All these Afghans, they were actually rebellious against the Lodhi Sultan. Good morning, Riddhi. Good morning, Neeraj, everyone. Good morning. Now, Alam Khan and Daulat Khan in particular, they created a lot of trouble for the Lodhis. And why so? Because who was Alam Khan? In fact, Alam Khan was an uncle of Sultan Ibrahim Lodhi. And who was Daulat Khan? Another relative of Lodhi himself. Daulat Khan was basically the governor of Punjab region, right? And he behaved like a de facto ruler, as if there was no authority. And not just that, let me tell you that in the reign of Ibrahim Lodhi, even the smaller regions like Bayana, right, the regions like Eta, the regions like Bahraich, okay, that means the entire Gangetic Doab, that was behaving almost independently. The rulers in Rajputana, particularly Rana Sanga of Mewar, Rana Sangram Singh of Mewar, he himself had defeated Ibrahim Lodhi twice. Okay, so overall we can say that the infight which was going on in the Lodhi Empire, the Sultan's brothers, Sultan's uncles, their relatives, fellow or nobles, all of them were fighting among themselves. So are you getting the situations, right? Situations precariousness here. It was basically the conditions which were inviting Babur to invade India. Good morning, Priya. Now, if we talk about the story of Babur's arrival, that the conditions were there, no doubt. But how did Babur arrive then, right? Babur, if we talk about his story, he himself was a defeated prince. An extremely unlucky person. He lost everything he had. Remember, he was born to the reigning nobleman or reigning chief of the Fargana. However, he could not inherit his kingdom. Why so? Because at a very young age of just around 11 years, he was forced to reign into the steps of his father, and later on he was thrown out of his kingdom by the invading Uzbeks, right? And in fact, Uzbeks were the relatives only. They were not something outsider. They were the relatives only, right? In the reigning area, the Uzbek tribes, they were establishing their dominance in the area where the today's Uzbekistan is situated. Okay, everyone? Exactly, Naveen. So usually it is believed that we talk about the Timurid blood, we talk about Genghis Khan, but we also ignore that Babur's career in Central Asia is just of the frequent defeats, and it is not about the glorious success. Somehow he was able to capture the Samarkand, right? Somehow he was able to capture Samarkand, the ancestral capital of the Mughals, right, the Timurid kingdom, ancestral capital of the Timurid kingdom. However, he lost again in 1501, 1502 at the hands of Uzbeks. He had captured, this Samarkand with the help of Persian ruler. Got it, everyone? Not just that. In fact, when he was thrown out of the Samarkand and later on even out of Fargana, then he decided to move to Tashkent. Move to Tashkent. Even the Tashkent is present day capital of Uzbekistan. Even in Tashkent also, what happened? Tashkent was actually the principality of his uncle, where he was again forced to retreat from, forced to leave away. And after Tashkent, now he decided to descend towards the southern part of Hindu Kush, towards the opposite side of the Hindu Kush valley, and then he reached to Kabul, which was ruled by one of his relatives who had no successors after him. So Babur decided to succeed him as the ruler of Kabul, and thus he got the Kabul without any fight, without any might. Very good morning, Aisha. Right, good morning, Naveen. So Babur obtained Kabul and Ghazni in October 1504 without a fight, without an effort, and that was basically he was going to lose even that as well. Okay, he was going to lose even that as well. Got it? However, if we talk about particularly the arrival of Babur, as you can see, this particular map. Okay, I hope this map is visible clearly to all of you. This is the location of Kabul and this is Samarkand. All right, this is Samarkand, which was the ancestral place. Okay, ancestral place. All right, and this is Kabul and this is Ghazni. Right, Kabul and Ghazni. So these are the places where he started from. Started his Indian journey. Okay, started his Indian journey. Now, when we talk about the story of Babur, we must not forget that Babur was also forced to flee. He was forced to flee number of times. In fact, let me tell you that in 1511, with the help of Shah Ismail Safavid of Iran, Babur recovered Samarkand and also occupied Bukhara and Khurasan areas of the Central Asia. So he was actually taking the help of the Shah, Safavid Shah of Persia. And let me tell you that this Safavids, they were the Shia. They were the Shia Muslims. And there was one condition. Remember that self-respect is the biggest wealth a person can possess. Babur had to lose his identity as a Sunni Muslim when he decided to take the help of the Shah Ismail Safavid of Persia. The very same thing, exactly the same humiliation that Babur also went through, and Humayun also had to go through the similar humiliation when he was forced by Sher Shah Suri to set an exile from India. Okay, so that means both of them, they had very, you can say tragedies, very kind of tragic situation to be faced in their life. Now, if we talk about Babur, so basically, you know what? After the success of Babur in India, you might be surprised to know that Persian Empire claimed the suzerainty over Babur's kingdom, stating that Babur had accepted the Shiite sect, and Babur had also agreed to accept the suzerainty of the Safavid ruler of Persia. I hope that nobody among you might be aware of this simple fact, and this is why in the later course of action, the Persia Safavid Empire, they will be claiming the rights over the India's Mughal Empire. And this will be Akbar who will settle the scores. Otherwise, up to the rule of Humayun, the Persian Empire was also trying to control the Mughal Empire on its rule. If we talk about Babur, he was also defeated in the May 1512 by Ubaidullah Khan, right? Ubaidullah Khan Uzbek at the place called Kul-e-Malik, right? Kul-e-Malik, and thus his dream of Central Asia that was finished. That was finished. So had he not been defeated so many times, he would not have won the battle in India successfully. So this is for you all as well, that if you are getting defeated in the regular examinations, if you are attempting some one-day examination, if you are attempting any particular examination, getting failed repeatedly, do not think it as your permanent failure, because if a failure like Babur in the age of 36 years can change his fortunes forever, can become the emperor of one of the most prosperous lands in this world, then your fortunes can also take a turn after it. All right, everyone. So let's see the journey of Babur in India. So basically, he had several invasions, several incursions in India, starting from the Bheda invasion, the very first one in 1505 only, right? In 1504, he got Kabul, okay, Ghazni, and in 1505, he attacked Bheda. He got an invitation to attack Bheda. Where is Bheda? Is situated on the banks of Jhelum river. So he made an attack over there and then left back for Kabul. Then the second one, that was a little bit serious attack called as the Bazaar massacre. Okay, Bazaar massacre is located, Bazaar is located in the Khyber Pakhtun province of modern day Pakistan. Let me tell you that in Bazaar, what was the reason of attack? Can you remember? Babur attacked the Bazaar stating that the people of Bazaar were behaving un-Islamic. They were behaving like pagans. Who are the pagans? Who are the pagans? Pagans were basically the non-Islamic believers in the ancient Arab region. Okay. So those who were the idolaters, who worshipped the statues. And what is the story behind it? You will be amazed to understand this story, because Babur invaded the Bazaar tribes. The Bazaar tribes. And what was the reason? The Bazaar tribes, they were Pashtuns. They were Pashtuns. Pashtuns used to have a very strange type of tradition that whenever a woman used to die, okay, so when the dead body of the woman was put on the coffin box, okay, it was checked that if the coffin box is dwindling or not. If it is shaking and dwindling, that means the woman was not devoted to Allah, and therefore she had to be burnt on a funeral pyre. Remember, right? So cremation was to take place, not the burial. Not the burial. Burial is the tradition, the last rite of the Islamic ritual, and cremation is the last rite of the non-Islamic or Hindu rituals. So that was actually setting the connection to their ancestral practice. Babur did not like it. He said that these guys are behaving un-Islamic despite having embraced the Islam. So he attacked on the Bazaar. He just massacred the people. 3,000 people were killed, and a heap of the human skulls was made. A mound of the human skulls, and then the flag of the Timurid Empire was, right, flayed over that. Right. So that was the story. Then in Sialkot, Rawalpindi, Sayyidpur, again in the third one. However, there was another third attack, just before this 1521. But that was just a small invasion against the Yusufzai tribes of, Khyber Pakhtun region. Then the major attack, the fourth one, this was the major attack that occurred in 1523-24, where Babur captured Lahore, and Babur decided to distribute the kingdom of Punjab between the three stakeholders, Alam Khan Lodi, Daulat Khan Lodi, and his son, Daulat Khan's son, Dilawar Khan Lodi. Okay. After that, Panipat battle. So this battle, Panipat, it initiated in the 1525, when Babur set his armies towards India, towards Panipat in 1525 in the month of December. And then, after a prolonged effort, in the month of April, there was the battle which took place in Panipat. Now, if we talk about this particular battle, as you can see, this is the place, or this is the path of the invasion of Babur. As you can see, from Kabul to Peshawar to Lahore via Chittor and Sarswa, Panipat, and then the Mughals rule actually that expanded throughout the Gangetic Doab as far as up to the Bihar region. Okay, was Bihar region. Got it. Now, if we talk about the course of action at Panipat, that what exactly happened at Panipat? What exactly happened at Panipat? So, Babur reached Panipat on 12th of April 1526 and he feared an immediate attack by Ibrahim Lodi. Babur thought that Ibrahim Lodi, when he will see us or our army, he will attack us immediately. But Ibrahim Lodi was another great coward. Okay, he did not invade Babur. Ibrahim Lodi was playing it strategically. Babur wanted to attack at the night so that Ibrahim Lodi's armies could be surprised, they could be baffled. Whereas Ibrahim Lodi wanted that Babur, he should be forced to attack in the daytime, in the summer, April, in the summer season of North India, Panipat, Haryana. So Ibrahim Lodi knew it that this summer season would be playing the same role as we would see in the upcoming time, that the Marathas, they would be facing the chills of the North India's winters in the Battle of Panipat, Third Battle of Panipat. Ibrahim Lodi wanted that the Mughals, who are coming from the hilly areas, who are coming from the cold areas, they should face the heat of the North India in the chilling summer of 21st April. Okay, so that means what? The strategy of Ibrahim Lodi was to make Babur face the adversities of weather, which did not happen because the repeated attacks were taking place, and Ibrahim Lodi, he had to revert those attacks. And therefore, when his army reverted, the Babur, he utilized those strategies as I told you in the first page, and he won the war after that. Okay, everyone. So, as I told you, that had Ibrahim Lodi shown a little bit of patience, had his armies, they had maintained the patience for a little bit of time, Babur had just 20 to 24 cannons. He did not have the, unlimited explosives. So he must have perished to the time. His armies must have lost the battle, given that the strategy of Lodi's army would have been better. Okay. So sometimes, in the words of Winston Churchill, that we know our future as far as we know the history deeper, right? So as deep as we know the history, that much far we can know the future. All right, everyone. So that is how the victory took place, and we all are aware that this night battle, that was actually the strategy of Babur, which was also used at Khanwa against Rana Sanga. So Babur used this strategy against the several stronger enemies. And let me tell you that Babur, who was an avid drinker, who was an avid reader of the non-Islamic literature, he pledged before his army that from today onwards, if I win this war, I will never ever touch the liquor. And I promise you all to sacrifice in this battle so that you all could become Ghazi. Again, the religion was used to provoke the defeating army. In fact, the army of Babur was on the verge of losing this battle. But when they got that, religious momentum, suddenly they started fighting again with the double vigor and won the battle. Okay. So if we go for the consequences, we can actually have a quite lot of consequences. Particularly, the biggest consequence will be in the field of the, political Okay, political consequences where the new empire was established. Okay, new empire was established. The new method of administration that was introduced by the Mughals. If we talk about the cultural consequences, so there were a lot of the cultural consequences, particularly in the field of the art and architecture. Okay, art and architecture. The Mughal arts and architecture that was introduced, right? Not just that, in the field of the traditions. For example, if you observe the Mughal traditions of making the Char Bagh, the Mughal traditions of making the mausoleums at a very extensive scale, all these things were introduced. Okay, all these things were introduced. Good morning, Rajesh sir. Very, very good morning. So, students, Rajesh sir is a very, very senior and respectable subject teacher of history, and he is also my dear friend. So, if we talk about some other contributions, so Babur also enriched, or the Mughals also enriched the country with the linguistics. Okay, with the linguistics and literary contributions. So there were a number of contributions made by the Timurid invaders. However, at the same time, they also overlapped, right, the existing culture to make it a mixed Indo-Islamic culture in our country. All right, everyone. Apart from that, if we talk about the expansion of the empire, as you can see, during the reign of Babur, you can see here this area was already captured by Babur, and by the time Babur ended his rule, he had expanded his kingdom throughout the Doab region. Then this yellow region that was added by Akbar through his expeditions. And later on, after 1530, this new area that was added combinedly by Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and mostly by Aurangzeb. Okay, so overall these areas were added. In fact, the entire subcontinent came under the rule of Mughals as a consequence of that one single battle at Panipat. All right, everyone. So talking about some of the observations about India, that what has Babur written in his autobiography Tuzuke Baburi about this land, about this country and the people of the country. A lot of things, like he did not like the weather much. And nor did his nobles like the weather of India. In fact, the nobles of Babur, they insisted, rather some of them revolted, that we will not fight anymore for you. Just return back to the country, right? But he loved the flora and fauna of the nation, because he has praised, the unemptied time about the flora and fauna of our country. Not just that, he actually did not like the absence of the canals. He said that in this country there are no canals, there are no other sources. The people are using the large leather buckets for the purpose of irrigation. Remember that. The system of Rahat, okay, the system of Rahat and the system of Charas, okay, these were the old irrigation systems, okay, which were described by Babur, okay, described by Babur. Remember the name? Rahat is also called as Arghat. This question is also asked in the UPSC. It was asked in UPSC. Arghat, what is this Arghat? Basically the sequence of the buckets used to take the water out of the well. And what is the charas? Charas, or this is also called as moat. Okay, moat. Charas or moat is a large leather bucket. Okay, leather bucket, very often used by the farmers to irrigate their land when the bullocks are actually going and coming through, right? They just put this inside the well, take the water out and pour it into the field. Okay, that is how it works. He has also praised the craftsmen and their skill. Babar has actually, praised he has put the unsurmountable praises on the craftsmen of India. He says that I am enjoying the craft and the services of the craftsmen who are, number of times better than those craftsmen who are staying at the Samarkand, and those craftsmen also who might have been with Taimur in his kingdom. So he is saying that I am doing better than Taimur. I am enjoying much more than Taimur. Okay. He was also greatly impressed by Indian numeric system, India's number system, mathematics and literature. All these had surprised Babar very greatly, because at the same time he also writes that I do not like the people. They are not very much helpful. They are not very much friendly towards the foreigners. However, he describes that the people and the knowledge tradition here, that was absolutely great. Now, beautifully described about the monsoon, the dancing peacock, but did not like its flesh. He says that a peacock is a very beautiful bird, having the beautiful colors on the feather. However, the flesh of this bird is not at all good. So such type of things he has written. Okay. He used to feel homesick. Often he mentions in his biography written in Chagtai Turk. Basically, he repeatedly remembered the gardens, the lush green vegetation in the Kabul Valley that he used to enjoy. He had also, expressed his desire that his body should be buried, as his last resting place should be way back in Hindu Kush, way back in the place which sheltered him in his tough times. He did not want to be buried in India. He did not want to be buried in India as his last wish, right? So all these things actually express, in fact, let me tell you that in some other classes I would be talking about the autobiography of Babar, where you will realize that he was actually having a very, very delicate heart, and he had also, felt attracted towards a person, a boy whose name was Babari, right? So that is a different story. We will talk in some different lecture about that. So guys, that is all in my session today. And I hope that you all would have enjoyed these informations that I have provided in this lecture. So if you love this lecture, do not hesitate to share it with your friends. At the same time, if you are preparing for UPSC examination, we are launching a prelims to interview batch for all the aspirants who are looking forward to appear in 2024. And this batch will be just at 29,999 rupees if you are using this code ASR Live, right? So we are launching it on the 19th of June, exactly 6 p.m. And let me tell you one feature that is very, very important, that if you are a student of this batch and if you clear the prelims examination, you will be given a free accommodation and preparation help for the mains examination at our campus here in NCR without any additional cost. So that's a golden opportunity. Do not forget to use this code ASR Live. So thank you so much for watching it, guys. Take care. And if you want the PPT of this session, so you can simply join my Telegram group by scanning this particular code, and the PPTs, etc. will be available over there. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching it. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye and Jai Hind. Thank you.